Willowvic Farm is home not only to chickens, ducks, and roosters, it is also home to Will Bruce and Victoria Scott. They're an amazing couple because they're both very talented in their own right.
It's the most emotionally draining and the most exciting thing I've ever done in my life. It's like the ups and downs are just unbelievable. And it never stops being challenging, never.
Victoria was a hairdresser for 35 years. In fact, sometimes she still cuts hair, and she found that's an amazing way to learn about people. She started out painting at a very early age and got notoriety, and then she shut down.
This was one of Will here is one of my first paintings. I had no idea how it even happened. I just started mucking about with chalk pastel, and so I went to college. I went to school. I went to check out a school in Victoria, the School of Art in Victoria, and the director there looked at my work and said, "Don't go to school." He said, "Go home and paint as much as you can." He says, "You're an artist. You were born an artist." And I've had such a challenge doing that in my life with 9 grandchildren and 7 acres and chickens and renovations. But it's true. The more you do it, the better you get.
The 7-acre farm here at Willowvic Farm is home to a lot of different buildings, which Will has been renovating. He's also put up the yurt for Vicky so that she could paint, built the floor, and now his other passions are woodworking and baking.
It's just a question of getting organized for the week.
So Will, tell me about how you got started at the farmer's market.
Our daughter came to me almost in tears one day because she was losing her summer job. She worked at the coffee bus and he was selling it, and she didn't know if the new owners were going to give her a job. So I said, well, just calm down a minute, and we ended up buying the business. So we ran the coffee bus for 5 years. Make sure the brand's mixed in.
Because baking is scientific, one of the things that Will found is make sure you keep records so you don't make the same mistake twice.
Oh, just keep doing it and playing, keeping records. That's the key. I've been someone who's not really interested in keeping records and doing paperwork my whole life, and I'm really learning to appreciate how much usefulness there is in keeping records of everything you do so that you know not to make the same mistake again. Yeah, keep records and keep playing. And if you're stuck with something, you know, phone a baker, you know. Like, I'm fine with teaching people or, you know, giving advice. Or, I don't know all the technical stuff. Mostly I do this as an art, not a science, but I have books that have all the science in them. If somebody needs to come and, you know, sit here and read it, I won't let them take it away because I value it too much. But.
And this isn't your only passion.
No.
You've got a whole other shop next door.
Yeah, I've been a woodworker all my life, since about grade 9. Probably too many years of dust, and I needed a break from it, so that was part of the reason for starting this. And plus moving out to the farm, wanted to get in the garden more. So this whole place is like my big sandbox. I get to do different things, different days.
What do you like about teaching people?
It's just amazing how little. You think you don't have that much knowledge or whatever. When I first started out, I was really nervous about teaching. But it's amazing how little you can say to someone and watch them. Just, whoa, a light turns on for them, you know. And I'm getting to be a better artist by teaching as well.
If you'd like to contact Will or Vicky about baking or art, you can find them at the farmer's market every Saturday under Willowvic Farm, selling wonderful cinnamon buns, bread, and bagels, my favorite. From Willowvic Farm, this is Judi Murakami for Shaw TV. Here in Royston, entrepreneur Diane Spink has done it again. She started the Royston Coffee School doing barista training, food safe, and serving it right.
I think it's really important to be a multitasker. Another really good quality would definitely be those people skills.
20 years ago, Diane Spink was a single parent looking for a job, trying to make a living, and who would have thought that this coffee business that she got into would be a burgeoning enterprise.
I moved to the Comox Valley, and I was teaching youth entrepreneurship for Business Development Bank and Community Futures. But I had no work, and I was a single parent and 2 little kids, and I had no work in the summer. So I bought a coffee cart and I applied at the farmers market, and it just went from there. I applied at Vancouver Island Music Fest, I applied at Philbrook Festival, which I am still doing to this day, 15 years later. And it was a source of income, and when I did the music fest, I paid for my coffee cart in 2 days, so I thought, wow, this is a pretty good business. And then I had to teach people to help me. I thought, wow, I can teach you. So that's how I got started. It was just a source of income as a single parent. And plus I loved coffee. So of course the next step was eventually to go into roasting, and been teaching ever since. You can put it on there. We're always tamping on something. Yeah, put it right down when you're tamping down. Nice. And all that fun, that's the whole thing, is this, the bean grinders on, the steaming, the banging, is all part of the sights and sounds of a cafe.
For anyone interested in becoming a barista working at a coffee shop, all it takes is 1 day. You too can learn how to make all of those wonderful coffee drinks.
Well, that's the beauty of it. 1 day. It's pretty intense. When you look at a big menu board in a coffee bar, a lot of times you're looking at it and you're going, oh my God, how will I ever know how to make all those drinks? Well, from 10 o'clock till 4 o'clock, you walk out of here, you know how to make every single drink on one of those boards.
Really?
And very comfortably trained, yeah, and it's exciting. And even when you go in and order a drink from then on, you know exactly what's in them. You are also going to take some chocolate milk, and we're going to steam it to heat it, and we're going to make a mocha. So you're going to put the shot of espresso into one of these little shot pots, into the cup. With your hot milk, you're going to fill it up, and we're going to put some whipped cream on top. And I get to drink it? No.
Gaëtan Palardy is the partner in crime who has been an instructor and a chef, and she teaches Food Safe Level 1.
Often I was collaborating with Diane, and I do it in different venues, with different schools, different private organizations, businesses and all that. So doing it with the school she wants to start, it's one more way to promote the food safe courses and other courses in tourism and hospitality that I offer.
So for those of you who have had your food safe training, make sure that you pay attention to the regulations, because in 2018, if you have not had your food safe training in the past 5 years, you need to recertify. So just something to think about.
Before there was no expiry date on it. Now when people do a certificate, there's a 5-year expiry date. So people who do it in 17, it's going to be written 2022. One thing I try to do when I do the course is give a lot of example for home also, that even if people don't need it for a job, they come home and they can, it's to develop a food safe culture, then they get more tricks and more ways to make the food they serve as safe as possible for their family, their friends, and when they're doing it at home.
If you're interested in getting trained in either barista, food safe, or serving it right, you can either go to Facebook or go to roystoncoffeeschool.ca. From beautiful downtown Royston, this is Judi Murakami for Shaw TV. Mark Tardif grew up in Powell River, just across the water, but having come here to look after his mother's house in '94, he discovered he loved the Comox Valley. He spent a lifetime in sales, starting at Sears, and discovered furniture was his passion and service was a necessity.
Treat everybody equal and just be fair.
AnMarco's Furniture is a local business run by Mark Tardif and his family.
I've actually been in the furniture business 36 years. I started in 1978 with Simpson Sears over in Powell River as a shipper receiver, and progressed from there. managed a few different furniture stores for a few different companies, and finally 4 years ago, being unemployed, decided it's time to do my own thing.
AnMarco's is a family-run business, and the youngest staff member, Michael, is a member of his family who loves helping Dad out in the shop. He's cleaning and putting things together, and I think he's probably going to follow in his father's footsteps.
Well, Michael does some assembly, he does cleaning, and generally he will help me make decisions sometimes. We'll go over it as a family and discuss things. What should we do, you know, in this case and that case. So he's a big help, a very big help.
Having made all these contacts in the Canadian furniture business, it made sense to keep a lot of his stock as Canadian. He knew the suppliers. In fact, the chrome set here and all of the retro kitchen furniture has been made by a Winnipeg company since 1946, and they're still in business.
When it comes to dealing with local manufacturers, it's much easier if there are issues. We can go discuss it with them locally and have it looked after, and it's just a lot easier to deal with.
If you'd like to start your own business, what is the secret to success?
It's service. Work hard, look after your customers. Details are really important. If there's issues, get on top of them. Don't let them pile up, and be fair. Be fair to everybody.
From AnMarco's Furniture in Courtenay, this is Judi Murakami for Shaw TV. Bread is the staff of life. It's one of the most ancient foods because it's made from grains. And today at Blue Moon Winery, there's a Kneading It Forward project where people are coming together, making bread, and making it for charity back to the community. Here's Rob Matheson, who's the originator of the Grateful Bread Charity Project, to tell you.
I moved to Ontario. I had a friend with a restaurant who was wanting to have a local farmer's market. He wanted to buy local and he wanted to support local. He wanted somebody to bake bread and sell it at the market, and he wanted me to do that, but I was too afraid to commit to doing that every weekend. So I did it every second weekend for the first year, but that didn't really work. And we decided that if we wanted to have bread at the market, I would teach other people how to do it. He asked me if I would bake bread for the Mother's Day fundraising brunch for the Salvation Army that his restaurant put on. And as I thought about it, I thought I could teach these other farming people how to do this, and we could combine the two of them, and wow. So that was the start. That was the first workshop that I ever put together, and it was essentially other people from the farmer's market that needed to learn how to bake bread, so we always had bread at the market. And we gave the bread to the Salvation Army Mother's Day brunch.
We come together to learn a little bit about making bread, and also each of us bring a sponge to the event, and we will be making about 6 loaves per person, and you get to take away one and the rest of it is donated. Rob really likes to be able to play it forward on this one, and he likes to be able to show people whether they can take the skills that they've learned here and take them out and show other people.
So the workshop is taking place at Blue Moon Winery, and Marla Limousin is one of the owners of Blue Moon Winery.
I mean, it's something, it's like giving back, right? We've tried to do it twice in a year, 3 times in a year when we can get all together. It just feels it's a great kitchen. These people have supported the winery over the years. It's just a chance to really get together as well and create something really beautiful for the community. Rob, he's done Grateful Bread for a long, long time, and it was about giving people something, some sustenance, some love, right? Every loaf of bread there is made with love from all the people involved.
So if you'd like to get involved or have a group learn how to knead it forward, you can find Rob on Facebook at Grateful Bread for Charity on Facebook. I'm Judi Murakami from Blue Moon Winery for Shaw TV.